Okay, so episode 4. Okay, so well, it's in episode 4. Clay proposes to what's her name? To Aideen. I'm still trying to get used to their names. Clay proposes to Aideen. All is well and good. That one aside. Then one thing I picked up on the conversation between what's his name? Jeremy and Sarah Ann. Sarah Ann goes on to, express herself, how she feels about him and all that. But, she's unsure. Jeremy does not say anything to reassure her. If anything, what he said was that his attraction to her is more of physical, like lust, but not emotional. But I don't think she picks up on that. This girl goes on to the girls' quarters to be saying, "Oh, that's my man, my man, my man, my man. He's my man." He's basically, not picking up on the signals that the boy is sending her. Because, by the time she expressed herself, "I like you, this and that and that," this boy did not say anything. But then when he had a session with Laura, obviously, she heard what Sarah Ann was saying in the quarters now. So she has to up her game. And then she's like, "Oh, I made a list of the pros and cons, and the pros are longer. I like you, But obviously, she's crying. So, but he reassures her. Do you understand? He reassures her about, in fact, at that point, he even says, "I'm falling for you." So Auntie is all happy, yes, I'm on top again. But, that's what I picked up on that. I noticed the difference because, like I said before, for when he's having his conversation with Sarah Ann, he's always in the ifs, probability. When he's having his conversation with Laura, there's more certainty in their own conversation. So even in this episode again, where she was very unsure, he did not reassure Sarah Ann, but he did Laura. If anything, I would even say that Jeremy was a bit more, he wasn't sending mixed signals, right? If what's her name, Sarah Ann, was more aware, she would have noticed that this guy not they feel me like that. But I guess she was carried away and, she bought the dream that she was sold. Now, Trevor and Chelsea, it comes to the gift-giving part. Chelsea, why would you, if you know in your heart of hearts, because I feel like that girl already knew who she was going to choose. If you knew in your heart of hearts that you do not want that Trevor, why would you go to the extent of giving him that bracelet that you gave him? Why would you give him that kind of bracelet and say, "Oh, this bracelet, you can always tap it. You can tap it whenever you think of me"? Hey, I don't know anybody that they will tell that kind of thing that will not, take it very serious and, be like, this guy's really feeling me. We are making headway and be happy, basically. This girl gave him bracelet that, if you're thinking of me, tap it. I will feel it on the other end. And if I'm thinking of you, tap it. I will feel it on my own end. I guess Trevor never felt the bracelet vibrate on his own end because, anyway, let's just move on because I really pity Trevor. Trevor was a very decent guy, but good guys finish last. Now, the gift-giving session between Jimmy and Jessica. Jessica gave Jimmy a letter that she said she wrote to her future husband, that she wrote it years ago to her future husband. After this boy has finished reading this thing. But yeah, now, which gifts do you have for me, or what do you have to say? This boy did not have any reaction. Like always, his reactions are always delayed. And then he goes that, if anything, he feels more of lust for her. And that he cannot really tell her what she wants to hear. Jessica, at this point, my girl is beginning to stand on business. Well, she has been standing on business from the very beginning. Because she was like, "I cannot tell you any other thing to convince you more than I have." So, I mean, it is what it is. Because I guess, she has laid all her cards on the table. What again do you want her to say for you to understand that I like you? They do, I mean, they do. Obviously, you could tell she was irritated, but she still played it cool. She just maintained her composure. And that was that on that session. Then, And then she was like, obviously that he wanted someone that was going to go easier on him, and she was not going to do that. Basically, if you mess up, I'll call you out on your BS, you know. But Oga Jimmy, obviously, he did not like the fact that Jessica is a very assertive person. You can't play with her. She's going to call you out. So those things, Sha, was leading to the end of their relationship. So now it's Chelsea and Jimmy. Jimmy tells Chelsea, I love you. And this girl is over the moon. Compared to her reaction when Trevor told her, this girl is over the moon. She can't believe it. It was the first time in her whole life somebody has ever told her, I love you. And then this girl now, she goes on to say, I was going to say I love you to the person that proposes. I mean, what did she even say, Seth? It was given, I've been holding a candle for you, Jimmy, for you to tell me you love me. Let me know the one I'm doing. You know? Because... And then she's asking for reassurance from Jimmy. The I love you. She's asking for reassurance. She did not ask anything from Trevor. In fact, that girl always knew that she did not like that Trevor. But she was holding him on the side. In case Jimmy should mess up, she will hold Trevor. Because now, come to think of it. Yes, Chelsea, that's what you were doing. That's what you did to Trevor. You kept Trevor on the side, giving him hopes, being nice and all that rubbish you were there doing. Raising that poor boy's hope. In case, if, what's his name, Jimmy did not propose to you, you would just go and say, oh, yeah, the one that has made me feel the best in this place, and then say yes. Because I didn't mean you had responded to him when he told you twice, I love you. That guy would have proposed to her. In fact, from the first one, he would have already proposed. But this girl was holding candle for Jimmy. Now, Jimmy has said, I love you, and the angels in heaven are singing on her head. Right? But no problem. Your karma is coming. Next thing, she goes into the girls' quarter. She's trying to hide her excitement. Everybody's looking at her like this as she came inside to see any expression on her face. But she goes on to tell Laura, he said he loves me. Jessica, on the other hand, she's sitting there. I think she was already sensing that things are not going well, you know. And obviously, I think they were already reaching the end of their whole stay in the pod. So emotions are high. So Chelsea whispers to Laura and AD, I think, he said he loves me. And then she walks into the room. Laura, Mama G, who the hell are you? To go and tell what's her name, Jessica, I think it's time for you to leave. You need to leave on your own terms. What is your business? Who are you to tell her when to leave the pods? I know what I'm saying. And then that one is asking, like, if you heard something, tell me, is it something she said? You said, I know what I'm saying. I think you should leave. Basically, like, I didn't like the way she told her to leave. But, you know, Jessica is a strong girl. So she gets strong head. She's an Isiaki. So I'm sure in her mind, she's like, I'm not just going to up and leave like that. If I'm going to go, let him be the one to use his mouth and tell me that he's not doing again. Because this kind of thing can be very funny. Tomorrow now, when people talk, he will now say, but I was going to propose to you, and then next thing I heard that you left. So no. Let's be very sure from the very beginning. Okay? So I'm guessing that's why she stayed. So obviously, Sarah did not, what's her name? Jessica didn't listen to what Laura said, but obviously everybody could see that, everybody could read the writings on the wall at that point. Then next thing, what's it? Clay and AD, they finally see each other. I can't remember the other meetings I've witnessed in this Love is Blind, but this has to be number one on my ratings of the most cringiest, if there's anything like that, the most cringiest meetings I've ever seen. Because what was all that about? Okay, now something I picked up, right? AD, you did not like the fact that Clay was all about, oh, I'm big on the physical, I'm big on the physical. But that was the first thing you sold to him when you saw him. That was the very first thing you sold to him, because after they had, in fact, those people, they needed to get a room, and it was not in a good way. It was in a I beg, carrying a rubbish come up for one corner. Do you get? That was the first thing you sold to him, because as when they sat down and you're like, wait, let's rewind it back. Rewind it to the point where she was like, when he proposed, or when they were, when they made peace, and she was like, oh, so she said something like, if you're, like, it was going to be his loss, basically, like, play yourself if you think. She didn't complete it, but it was a kind of play yourself if you think I'm not hot. So obviously when they now saw, and she kind of brought it up again, and then next thing, she's standing up. What is the fashion parade for? Like, I don't get, like, it's like, that's the first thing you are selling. And I'm guessing that is how it has been. Like, you always put your body first. Like, let something else shine through, because, okay, yeah, you stayed in the pod, you were able to, score the guy. But at the point where he's seeing you, why do you, like, your body's banging? Like, it's obvious. A blind man can see that your body's banging. But why did you lead with that when you saw him? It still gave, it matters to you. It's one of your selling points. The body is already selling itself. You don't need to say anything. Just stand there. You look good. Okay? You don't need to point it out. And then when Clay is like, I like back, I've got back. What the hell? What the hell? I beg, please. Anyway, please. God. So back to the men's lounge, men's quarters. Oh, my Trevor. Trevor at this point, like, he's even handling it very well. Obviously, he knows that Jimmy likes Chelsea as well. And then I already know that Jimmy, at that point, he had already made his decision that he was going to propose to Chelsea. So, but he was still there forming confused. My dear, the highlight of this episode was the final part where Jimmy went to break things off with where Jimmy went to break things off with Jessica. Oh my God. Hold on. Jessica. She said, when you realize what you missed out on, you are going to choke. You are going to choke when you realize what you missed out on. You are going to need an EpiPen to open up your airways. Oh my girl. You are going to need an EpiPen to open up your airways when you realize what you missed out on. Because that one was there trying to rigmarole. I like you, this and that. Obviously, like, she, based on what had gone on in the girls' quarters, she could tell that this guy had already made his decision. So why are you playing me? So it was more like, cut to the chase, I beg. Save me all the sermons. Tell me straight that you are not doing. So before he even finished talking, she just said, you spoiled the opportunity for me. Because obviously he was stringing her along. He was stringing her along, and that was the only person that she liked, because she didn't have a triangle from her own end, right? So he was stringing her along, because I feel like if he had let her go on time, she would have been able to, make another connection. But my girl she was blazing fire, guns blazing. So when you realize what you missed out on, you are going to choke. You will need an EpiPen. Hey! And for real. For real. You will need an EpiPen to open up that your airways, Jimmy Oponko. On TikTok, they said Jimmy looks like a tomb. And when they said it, I couldn't unsee it. But anyway, guys, that is where episode 3 and 4 ended. Do you guys agree with my thoughts, or do you have a contrary opinion? Let me know in the comment section. I feel like, in summary, I feel like Chelsea kept Trevor as a side, like as a cushion. If it doesn't work out with Jimmy, I will say yes to Trevor. And Jimmy, he was leading what's her name? He was leading Jessica on. If Sarah Ann was very observant, she would have noticed that Jeremy didn't really like her. And Clay or Day and is it? Oh, all day and Clay. Anyway, those ones, it is what it is with them. But let me know. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and yeah, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Bye.